Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, where ordinary heroes tell extraordinary stories during unique and never been heard before conversations with your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Hilary's unique listening and way of asking questions results in conversations that aren't usually talked about, so you can create the life that you really want but are afraid you can't really have. We are demonstrating the greatness in the human spirit and creating a world where we all reclaim our birthright of joy, happiness, purpose, and passion. Now, here's your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Tyler Osborne. He is a financial educator, speaker, and host of the Money Master podcast. He owns a financial firm and specializes in helping individuals build wealth through financial structure, retirement planning, and legal strategies. And the rest, he's a father of 4, and he's been married to his lovely wife, Richie, for I think 16 years and has known her since he was 14. Now tell me if that's true. Did I just make that up, or is that true?
No. We've been together since we were 14. She met me in high school, and we've been together for a very long time now. It hasn't been a complete since we're 14, but on and off a little bit here and there. But for the most part, we've been together majority of our lives. So yeah, and we got 4 kids, 18, 15, 14, 12, boy, girl. She tells me I can make any type of baby I want, and I believe her.
You know more?
Absolutely not. Please don't put that on me. Absolutely not.
Wait.
I couldn't imagine doing that. Just a few, it was about probably about a month and a half ago. I was babysitting basically my nephews, and they're 4 and one and a half, and they ended up they're playing. They ended up taking a nap quickly around about 6 or 8 o'clock, and then I'm like, okay, cool, they're done for the night. I usually go to bed by about 10 o'clock. They ended up waking up about 11:45 in the evening, and I'm just like, oh no. And they stayed up until 1:30, and I was just drained. So I was like, yeah, I couldn't do this again. I had kids so early in my life. I'm like, no, I couldn't start over.
You were staying over with them, aren't you?
No, they came over to my house. And, because my family members, they went on a date, their parents, and so I was watching them or whatnot. And yeah, I was like, yeah, when they were up at 1:30 in the morning and running around, and the problem I messed up with is I put on a show called Bluey, and for people who don't know, that's the little kids show that I knew nothing about. One of my daughters told me to go ahead and put it on for them, and they got to jumping and screaming. I said, nope, never again. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine waking up or being up at 1:30 in the morning taking care of a baby. So when I become a grandfather one day, I'm just gonna love on them and give them back. You know what I mean? So
right, don't stay over. Have a curfew for yourself. Yeah.
Right. Because I was drained. Oh my goodness.
Wow. All right. Well, that's good. It's good to know what you want and don't want, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Four is a good number, though.
It's been fun. There's always something going on in my house, for sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right. When you guys met at 14, I like to go way back.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Did you date? Did you know she was the one, or was it kind of on again, off again? How did that
work? I've never told this story to the masses. So you want to hear the story, how it all kind of happened?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So I was in high school, and I was a basketball player. I was a basketball and football player in high school. And I was walking to class, and she happened to see me, and she said, hey, how you doing? I said, hey, how you doing? And she's like, oh, I like your shoes. I had a pair of Jordans on, no big deal. And she said, I said, all right, cool, nice to meet you. Didn't even exchange names, and I just walked off. And then I probably saw her again because I went to my high school had 6,000 kids. It was a very big high school in California, Independence High School in California, very big school. And I saw her again probably 3 weeks later, because the school's so big, you don't always, unless you have class with people, you don't always see them unless you know.
Yeah.
And I saw her a few weeks later at one of our pep rallies we had, and I saw her. She was walking in front of me, and I told my friends, hey, that's gonna be my next girlfriend. At the time, I already had a girlfriend.
Oh.
I said, no, I didn't tell her. I just told one of my buddies, hey, that's gonna be my next girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, right, whatever. All right, whatever. Anyways, so probably a couple weeks after that, I'm on my way home from basketball practice. I used to attend the Boys and Girls Club after school, after basketball practice every day. So I'd go to the Boys and Girls Club. But I lived so far from my school. I wasn't actually supposed to go to that school. It was just a better school than the area that I lived in. So like we used someone else's address, whatever, to make sure I got to that school. Yeah. But anyways, so we ended up, I'm catching the bus home. And I see her on the bus with a couple of her friends. And she's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm about to go to the Boys and Girls Club." And she's like, "Would you like to go to the library with me?" And I was like, "This nerd, you want me to go to the library with you?" I was like, "Sure." So I got off the bus, didn't go to the Boys and Girls Club, went to the library with her. And I was in the library, literally just doing my homework. She was doing her homework. We were talking and stuff like that. And kind of got the rapping and talking. And at that time, when I was with her at the library, I literally had a girlfriend. And afterwards, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna break up with my girlfriend tomorrow." And so ended up breaking up with my girlfriend. And I was only, at that time, I might have been 13. She was 14. Because I was a younger kid in high school. Anyways, so I was 14. I had to be 14. So anyways, so I ended up going to school the next day, and I actually told one of my best friends, "Hey, when you go to class tomorrow, make sure you go ahead and break up with Vanessa." Shout out Vanessa, however you are in life. Hopefully you're doing well. I told my best friend to do it for me, and he went and he was like, "What do you want me to do?" I was just, "Tell her it's over, bro." And he actually went and did it for me and broke up with her for me. And it's such a sad situation. I felt so bad about it, but given I was, such a young person in life.
How long had you been with Vanessa?
Probably like 2 months.
Oh, what, like 5 years?
But in high school, that's a long time.
That is a long time. What were you, a freshman?
I was a freshman, correct. Yeah, I was a freshman in high school. So
okay, so then what?
So then he ended up breaking up with Vanessa for me, for me. And then her and I just started talking and getting to know each other a lot more and a lot better. And then our first day, went to go watch a movie. It was, I want to say it was called like Panic Room or something. The movie wasn't too good, actually. It wasn't really good at all.
Yeah.
And anyways, watched the movie and started talking and just started becoming closer. And the funny part is, like, I for my freshman year, all I did is play basketball. I didn't play football. And it was actually because of her that I decided to play football. Thank God, because we ended up going to our homecoming game. And I was watching some people that I knew playing football and stuff like that. And they were just so bad at it. And I was like, and I told her, like, "Man, they suck." And she was like, "You couldn't do no better." I said, "Huh? You've never seen me play football?" She's like, "Well, you don't play football." And I had played football before in my life. I had stopped playing between the 7th to 9th grade. I stopped playing football just because the coaches I had growing up, they weren't the best coaches. And they kind of got me annoyed with football, so I stuck with basketball. And then when she had said that, I was like, "You never even see me play football." And she's like, "Nah, you probably can take a hit or something like that." I was just like, "Okay, whatever." So I was just like, you know what? Because of that, I'm going to go play football my next year as a sophomore. And I did go play football next year as a sophomore. And my first 3 games, I had 10 touchdowns. And the rest and the rest is history from there. So then I started playing football and fell back in love with that, and kind of, started doing more football than basketball and stuff like that. And because she said that, that got me into it. And eventually, I played in college and everything like that, which is pretty cool.
Really? Where'd you go to college?
University of St. Mary's, a little small school in Kansas.
But they had a football team?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Yeah, I played out there. And in 2010, I was in what they call like the small school NFL combine. So it's like before you go to the national combine that everyone sees on TV, what they'll do is they'll have these little combines all across the country for smaller school kids. And then if you do well, they'll invite you to the big one.
So did you get to go to the big one?
Nah, I didn't make it that far.
What were you? What position were you?
I played safety.
Safety?
I played safety. I played strong safety. So, and honestly, sports overall really kind of saved my life, to be completely honest with you.
Why? Sure. I mean, how?
Because majority of kids I grew up with, although I didn't even go around to the school where I live near, a lot of kids I grew up with are either no longer living in prison or struggling on drugs. So just me getting a football scholarship got me out of that environment. On top of that, my little brother was shot 5 times and lived. We didn't grow up in the same household, but that's still my little brother. Someone that I was pretty close with growing up as well. Just last year, he was shot 12 times. and lived.
How does he live through that?
I have no idea. I haven't been around him in 20 years.
I mean, why is he getting shot? Because he's on the streets or gang?
Yeah, just the lifestyle that he lives. His son, even his son, unfortunately, which is the same age as my son, is in prison now for life because he committed a murder. So that's just unfortunately the crowd that I was around growing up. So when I say sports literally saved my life, it did, just because I was able to get out of that environment. Yeah.
Well, how did you end up at the better school?
So I had
yeah.
So we had lived on one side of town growing up. So I was at a certain, like, the north side of San Jose. That's kind of where my parents, we had an apartment over there. So I started going to elementary school over there. But something that happened, father lost his job, had to move to another side of town, which is the east side of San Jose, which is a lot more hood. But they didn't want me going to school there. So they had basically one of my good friends that I went to school with in elementary, his parents allowed us to use their address, to go ahead and be able to attend the better school, which was better, but it wasn't much better. There's still a lot going, like 6,000 kids at a high school. There was a fight every single day when I was in high school. Every day there's a fight, every single day. So for 4 years, there's a fight every day. As long as me and my friends were in the fights, I didn't care. But
because you were in the fights.
Oh, there's sometimes I was, I wasn't I've been the Lord has helped me become a lot more polished today, I should say. But yeah, there's been times I've been in fights for sure. Absolutely.
Well, are these like gun fights, knife fights, or just pushing someone? Like, what kind of fight?
Mixture of all of them, to be completely honest with you. No, I wasn't out there shooting at anybody. But when I was in high school, one of my teammates, he was stabbed 7 times while in high school. I've had, unfortunately,
did he survive?
He did live, yes, thank God.
Oh God.
I've had guns pulled out on me. I've had people chase me with a machete, like all kinds of crazy stuff that an individual shouldn't have to go through. That really sounds like a movie as I'm explaining it to you. But that's reality in certain parts of California. Now you have the nice parts, obviously, the Beverly Hills and all the Laguna Beach areas and things like that. But that's nowhere near where I'm from. That's a completely different part of California. That's Southern California. I'm from Northern California, the Bay Area, where things are a little bit different up there compared to Southern California. Now there's some very nice places in the Bay Area as well that's not where I lived.
So where do you live now?
I'm in Frisco, Texas. Thank God.
Okay. You're nowhere near there. So your kids
absolutely not.
Deal with
my kids are suburb babies. They know nothing about like anything.
Wow. Do you have brothers and sisters besides that one brother?
I do. I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers. So I got a lot of siblings. A whole lot of siblings. Yeah.
Whoa.
I've been an uncle since I've been born.
So from the same parents or different parents?
No. So my mom only had 2 kids. My dad had a bunch of kids. God bless his soul. So no. He had a bunch of kids. My mom only had 2 kids.
So how many were in the house where you grew up? Like, did they have to?
It was me and my older brother for the most part, and then some of my siblings would come over on the weekends.
So was the older one?
I had step siblings as well, but they'd been around. Like my stepfather, who helped raise me, he'd been around since I was 1 year old. But my biological father did have a bunch of kids, though. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you live with your mother and your stepfather?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And the older brother, was that from your mother too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, the biologicals, were together. And was he okay? Did he go to the good school too?
Yes, he was there before I was there, but it wasn't that. It was just better from where we lived on the side of town where we're at. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. So you survived. Woo.
Yes,
okay. All right. God. So you went to University of St. Mary's, played football, and then what?
So I ended up playing football. I got my degree in psychology.
You didn't play football, or you did?
No, I did. I played football. I got my degree in psychology. Originally, I wanted to be a marriage counselor. Then I got married and decided no longer wanted to be a marriage counselor. It's kind of that.
Why did you want to be a marriage counselor?
Because a lot of times I found myself in school helping people with their relationships.
Wow.
People would ask questions, and me and my girlfriend had been together for so long, and how to make it work, and all that type of stuff, and I enjoyed helping people when it came to their relationships.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, I could see myself doing this as a career, and then I got into psychology in school and started learning more, and figured out in order for me to go ahead and become a marriage counselor, I'd have to be sitting there listening to everybody's marital problems for the rest of my life, and I was just like, this doesn't sound attractive to me anymore
No fun.
at all.
There. Wow.
Yeah, and that didn't sound attractive at all. And then on top of that, figured out if I really wanted to go further with it, I have to go back to school and get a master's and potentially even a doctorate. And don't get me wrong, I love education. I'm not a big fan of school. I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Learning.
Yes,
You love
correct.
learning, but not school. Okay.
It's not school. And on top of that, the reason I only went to college was to play football. So the crazy part is I only had one more semester left to get my degree, and I was debating on dropping out because I was like, I could just focus on going to the NFL. And I didn't, thank God, but I don't use the degree today anyway. So, but but I stayed and got the degree. But the only reason I went to college was to play football, and I was just there for so long that I got a degree. And I'm thankful for that. I was able to get an education and get it paid for and stuff like that, just because I was able to have a talent and a skill.
Wow. Okay. So when did you decide after you graduated that you didn't want to be a marriage counselor? And then how did you figure out what to do next?
Yeah, so I decided I want to be a marriage counselor. Didn't want to go ahead and go to get my master's or get my doctorate or anything like that. And I was like, okay, I still want to impact marriages, but how? And I discovered the number one reason that people were getting divorced was because of finances. So I said, okay, if I want to impact people, maybe I should just work in that industry. I like numbers. I've been good in numbers. If I was, liking these subjects in school, I was always pretty good in math. So I was like, okay, let me learn a little bit more about that. And so I was kind of starting to learn a little bit more. I didn't really still know how to get into it. And actually, one night I was praying, and the Lord just kind of spoke to me and told me to apply for JP Morgan. And so I was like, okay, apply for JP Morgan. That was like on a Thursday. So I got up that Friday and I was applying for JP Morgan. I started doing it like the afternoon. And I was applying for it, and all of a sudden, like, there's a portion within the application which it became like a math test. I was doing algebra. I was like, what the heck is going on? And my sister-in-law at the time, she was a banker at a local credit union in the Bay Area. And I asked her, I was like, did you have to take like a math test? She was like, nah. I got so frustrated. I was like, I just stopped. I was like, babe, let's go watch a movie. So we left and went to go to the movies. I can't remember what the movie was this day. It must not have been that good. And anyways, got back home, it was like 11:30, and the Lord kind of impressed upon me again, like, hey, go ahead and finish that application. So I went to go finish that application, ended up finishing it probably, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning or so. Ended up being Saturday by that point.
Oh.
Doing math, right? Up all night, Friday night. And that was a Saturday, Friday, Saturday. I got a call that Tuesday from a lady named Jeannie Cox, who was a recruiter for JP Morgan. Shout out Jeannie if you're still at JP Morgan. I know what you got going on in life, but I appreciate you. Anyway, so I ended up getting a call from her. She said, hey, Tyler, how you doing? Got your application. You did so great on the math portion. I said, oh, really? I was shocked because at first I didn't even want to even finish the application.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what? Let's set you up on an interview. I look for you to interview and see how it worked for you working with us. I said, okay, great. So she set me up an interview that was a Tuesday. I had an interview like that Thursday out at a location in Mountain View, California, which is a very nice part of the Bay Area. And ended up going out there, interviewing with the manager at that particular location. Hit off pretty well with him. And he was like, hey, you want to come back and speak with our district manager? I said, not a problem. So it's like, if you come back like an hour, we can go and do so. I said, okay, cool. So,
an hour? Wow.
yeah, I came back in an hour. It was that quick. It's like that quick of a turnaround. So he came back, met the guy, and he did not like me at all, Hilary.
No?
Absolutely not. This guy he was tearing me down. What he couldn't understand is how for the last like year and a half, I didn't have a job. And I was trying to explain to him, like, I was training for the NFL. That was what I was focused on. I don't know if you understand how big of an opportunity that is, but a lot of people, when they have that opportunity, they dive deep into it because you can make quite a bit of money if you make it to
so you skipped that part. So were you asked to like apply for the NFL, or you
Yeah. So what happens is like,
shape, or what? How does
yeah,
that
you
work?
have to stay in. You have to stay in shape. There's a lot of trainings. A lot goes into it. So I had trainers. I had things to do all the time. So I was training for about a year, almost a year and a half. So about a year I was training for it, and then at the year and a half mark, basically that's when I started looking for
Did
opportunities
they
to
pay
work.
you? Did they pay you?
No, no, you don't get paid unless you make it.
Oh,
You don't get paid.
but it was a program. There was a
It's not.
set
It's
program?
not a. It's not. It's not a. There's no set program. You have trainers, people that help you get bigger, stronger, faster, help you work on your position abilities and stuff like that.
But do they provide them, or did you have to pay for all that and figure that out yourself?
So when you have agents and stuff like that, they kind of help you with
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were being guided a little bit.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I was
Okay.
being guided. So he just couldn't get over the fact of me being able to, not having a job because I was training for the NFL.
But wait,
And
what happened? Hold on. Before we go to the guy who didn't like you, what happened with the NFL? Did they just say, sorry, you're not going to make it? Like, how did that end?
they just don't pick you up. Like you just don't get
Oh.
drafted, or you just don't get signed as a free agent.
Were you
So
sad?
there's no they don't send you a letter letting you know anything. You just don't get a phone call. It's just kind of like that.
And so there's a certain time period you'll either get it or not, and then you're done?
Well, you could keep trying, but at that time I already had a kid and another on the way.
Oh, God.
So I was like, yeah, I need to figure something else out.
Did
Yeah.
you have a job? Any kind of job?
No, I was not
No?
working. No, I was
So
just
how were
training.
you surviving? Or was it your wife?
My
Were you
spouse.
married?
My
Were you
spouse.
married?
We weren't married yet at the time. We were just still together. I didn't get married probably until, well, how old was my son? When he was 2 or 3 years old. So I think I got married by the time I was 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you didn't get the call, and then what?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm 38. No, 22 or 23, something like that. I got married in 2011. So whatever that is. And I'm 38 now. So whatever that math is there.
15 years. You're 38.
So I was 23.
Yep. 23.
Yeah. So I graduated college, I think, at 22. So for that next year, she was helping me. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
So, all right. And then how?
And my family, her and my family.
Oh,
So we have a support system.
okay.
Mhm.
So then how far after that, when you didn't get the call, did you get the message saying apply to JP Morgan? Like, was that immediate or 6 months? I think maybe.
Probably. So I got married in 2011. So a few months after I got married is kind of when a few months after I got married. So I want to say it had to be like July, end of July, early August, because that's when I started working for them eventually.
And before that, I don't know why I like to know this stuff, but I like to know how these things happen. So you didn't get the call, and then for a few months, what were you thinking you were going to do, or were you?
I don't know. I was just still training until I just kind of
Okay.
came to a conclusion like maybe this is not my calling.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Is eventually,
Okay.
yeah, just you figure that's not your
Were
calling
you
anymore.
sad? Like, was it?
Absolutely. Like that's
Oh.
you have to like, and this is such a big deal. If anyone's listening that is a former athlete, a lot of us have what's called like an identity crisis when we stop playing our sport.
Yeah.
Because most of us have been playing our sport from when we're a little kid up until when either we go pro or not. So after I stopped playing football, I couldn't watch it for almost 2 years.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I couldn't be
So
around
you
it.
really
couldn't
thought
watch-
you were going to get called?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. You couldn't tell me no different.
Wow.
Couldn't tell me no different. Yeah, I truly believed it. I watch it still sometimes to this day, but like, if I was a little younger.
Ah, so you loved it. You really
Oh, I
loved it.
still love it. I still love it.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
I mean, it's done so much for me in my life. Not even just as far as, getting a free education and stuff like that, but teaching me leadership, discipline, teamwork, how to be structured, how to reach after goals, how to go ahead and help other people achieve goals, how to lead people and guide them into the right places. It's done so much for me
Wow.
in my life, sports in general. But yeah, I still football to this day.
And do your boys play?
They do. Absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. They're pretty good too.
cool.
hmm
All right. All right. So there you are. The guy doesn't like you. What happens? You're in the
So so during the interview, he's just kind of tearing me down, talking about, I'm not ambitious because I haven't had a job the last
and he
year.
couldn't get what you were doing? Like,
Couldn't understand it. I guess he didn't. So I ended up walking and leaving out of there like, yeah, probably not gonna get that. So Jeannie called me back the following week. Hey, Tyler, how'd it go? And I was like, I don't think it went well. I haven't got a call back or nothing. She was like, what? And I explained to her what happened, and she was like, huh? Oh, that's crazy. I'm gonna set you up with a whole nother interview outside this guy's jurisdiction. I said,
oh,
okay, cool. So she set up with another interview. It was gonna be in Fremont, California this time. It was called a hiring event. I went to this event though. There's only 3 of us that were supposed to get hired, right? And
oh,
I walk into a room with 2 people in there, and one of the gentlemen's name was Eric Powell. I remember his name. And him and the other gentleman, all they did for the next hour and a half is talk to me about football. Didn't didn't, didn't ask me one question about
wow.
finances or what I knew or how to sell product. Nothing. An hour football. And afterward, I left out of there like, that went pretty well. And I ended up getting a call probably about 3 days later from that from a lady named Vicky, who had a branch in Cupertino, California. And I went in and interviewed with her. I can't even say it was an interview. She was just really, she had heard great things about me from Eric and basically just wanted to, meet me in person and basically offer me a job on the spot. And then that's how I got my start.
Now, was this a paid position or was it just what you sold?
It's paid. Yeah. So it's paid. You get paid a salary plus, whatever you sell as well.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just came from a commission-based thing for 18 years. It's tough.
Yes.
Hard when people start. I mean, most of them don't last, but okay. So you got a salary. That's awesome. Okay. So what did you learn in the first 2 years?
I learned a lot in the first 2 years working with them for sure. Probably one of the biggest things that I learned is that a lot of wealthy people own businesses. That was probably one of the biggest things for me is that majority of the people that are my clients that had, massive portfolios, they own some type of company. And then the people who didn't own companies didn't have those massive type portfolios. Now you still had some people that were savers and had high balances and stuff like that. And, but for the most part, the biggest thing I learned is that, if I want to be in those have that same type of income or outcome in life, eventually I need to own a business. I learned about investments and strategies and things like that, which is cool. But that was probably the biggest thing I took away was understanding that, hey, if I really want to get to where I need to be in life, I probably need to go into business for myself.
Now, there's a lot of people who go into business for themselves and fail.
This is so true.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but obviously you were seeing the successful ones.
I was seeing the successful ones. And then also what I learned too is that those that were successful, they want to see other people become successful. They had a mindset of abundance. They lived in a blue ocean mentality, meaning there's more than enough for everybody. And I'd ask questions, they'd happy answer, and I'd made good friends with a lot of them. And one even bought me and gave me golf clubs. I'd never golfed a day in my life. Only thing I ever did was miniature golf, stuff like that. But I'd never been to actual, a country club and golfed and been on a course or anything like that. And he bought me clubs, or he bought me some pings. And that was pretty cool. And just learned the generosity from a lot of these different people that I was encountering and being around. They were so generous and nice. Now, is that experience for everybody? I don't know what everyone else experienced, but that's just kind of what I experienced when I
But
came
they
out.
were willing to trust you, a guy who was just starting, right, with their investments?
It wasn't because of me. It's because of the brand of the company. They didn't trust Tyler. They trust JP
Okay.
Morgan. You know what I
But
mean?
still,
Yeah, but at that instance, it's like, they don't know Tyler, but they know of the brand of JP Morgan and how long it's been around and stuff like that. So no, they ain't necessarily trust me up front. It's the credibility of that company
okay.
that kind of helped me there.
Wow. All right. So then we just have a couple minutes, but how did you, I would say, have the courage or whatever to step out on your own after just a couple years?
Yeah, so I had been there for a couple years and learned quite a bit. And kind of one of the turning points was when I helped somebody roll over about $500,000 of an old 401k/IRA from their employer to over here with us at that company before, and JP Morgan. And they had paid me about $2,000 or so. So I made $2,000 in 1 hour. I was in my early 20s, and I was fired up for that transaction. I was like, damn, I made, $2,000 in about an hour. And I just happened to go home and do some research, and I found out if I would have owned my own firm, that $2,000 would have been closer to 30.
Whoa.
And I said, wait, what? You shorted me $28,000? Right. And I've explained throughout this conversation that I'm from the hood. Right. And that doesn't go well over with us from where I'm from. So I was like, I got to figure a way to do this on my own. And
So the house gets the rest?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Right. Which was horrible at that point in time for me. And so I ended up looking for ways I can kind of get out and leave. And eventually I ended up meeting somebody that decided he'd mentor, train me, and coach me on what I could do to own my own firm. I just did everything the gentleman told me to do, and a year later had my own business.
And how did you meet him?
So, crazy part, one of my clients at JP Morgan had came in, and she was a younger lady. She was starting to working as a financial professional at a different firm, but she needed a new bank account. And we just got to talking, and I was kind of telling her some of the dreams and goals that I had, and maybe eventually I want to open my own and stuff like that. And she's like, hey, you know what? I actually have somebody that you should probably talk to that could be of great value to you. And she ended up making an introduction, and that's kind of how it happened.
Random, right?
Look at God, right? Just led me all
Yeah.
this whole way
Wow.
to from there to here where I'm today. And
the person,
he still mentors me to this day.
and he was happy to help you.
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
Could you have done it without him?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No. I wouldn't have known where to start.
So he just told you step by step.
Yeah, absolutely. And still mentors me to this day.
What does he do?
To this day?
Yeah.
He owns a firm.
Financial firm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he owns a firm as well.
But he wasn't, like you said, these people, he wasn't like, oh, I can't help you because you'll steal my people. Like, he wasn't looking from scarcity. He was looking from abundance.
Correct.
Like,
There's
this
more
will
than that.
make everyone better. Wow.
Right. Because think about it like this. Everyone has money. Now, how much they have, it all varies. Right. I can walk into a mall right now, throw a penny in the air. Whoever hits on the head, they probably have a 401k. Right. So obviously, if you have a 401k, you have IRAs, you have money, you may or may not be getting the best returns upon it. You might be losing money, and there's just so many different strategies that you can work with somebody when it comes to their retirement. So there's just more than enough people out there to help.
Yeah.
So his mindset was never scarcity.
Wow. Well, that's great because, yeah, I just came from an atmosphere where I actually resigned from my management position because it was always like, who can we blame? Who's the asshole here? And I felt terrible about myself. Like you couldn't win. You do what they say, but you left an hour early. So it was always like, I just said enough. And I've been doing it for, a long time. So I feel free. Like I want to be more in that kind of abundance.
Yes.
Elevating the consciousness, not tearing us down. Not like stepping on, getting stepped on so the other person can feel higher. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's raise everyone. So
and what I've noticed when I was in corporate America is a dog eat dog world.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like that. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be like that. And I don't know where that came from or who invented that, but as an entrepreneur, I don't think like that. Like I've had people on my own podcast that do the exact same thing that I do, and I'm want to promote them. Yeah. I have no problem with it because I truly believe givers gain. Like however much I give to somebody, the Lord's going to reward me back and give me more than I've ever given. And my heart is not I'm giving so I can gain something. It's just I just want to go ahead and be generous.
Wow. Well, I mean, I think it's like, you're either in the ego where it's me against you, I'm alone, I got to win, or you're in like the spirit side where there's abundance and generosity and gratitude and compassion. I think It's almost like my third book was about the two sides of life.
Mhm.
One is like, wow, awesome. Who can we help? Yay. And the other is something's wrong with me, something's wrong with you, it's your fault. It's the ego side where there's judgment, comparison, doubt, fear.
Mhm.
Um, you bring in the past to feel like a victim. You get afraid of the future, even though it's not helping.
Yeah.
And then there's the other place where there's gratitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And
Uh,
an acronym I have for the word ego, EGO, is edging God out.
not
Whenever you have
funny, but yeah, I love
Well, whenever you have an
True.
ego, a lot of times you're edging God out. You're not putting them first. You're only thinking about yourself. You're self-centered. Pride comes in the way,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And someone I had on the show said the only antidote to the ego is love. And the ego can't survive in love. So it's like splashing water on the Wicked Witch of the West.
yes, I agree.
And I have to remember that when I got scared when I did what I did, when I quit, and it's like, oh my God, there's not going to be enough. And then it's like, no, get out of that. Go back to abundance,
Yeah.
and see what opens up. So, all right, it's time for our commercial break. We're a little late, but I didn't want to stop because it was so interesting. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
What if school could be a place where every child feels safe to be themselves? Right now, kids are growing up in a complicated world. They're learning how to listen, how to care, and how to find their voice. Kokori's daily digital calendar of research-backed lessons helps children build confidence, empathy, and resilience through joyful play-based learning. When children feel connected and supported, they don't just learn more, they grow into kinder, braver humans. Kokori, helping kids grow together.
Hey, it's Hilary from the Getting Real with Hilary show. Life can be messy, raw, and real. And sometimes we're afraid to feel vulnerable. We're afraid to be that real self. Well, that's exactly what the Getting Real with Hilary show and Getting Real movement is all about. Being our true selves. Every week, I bring you stories of transformation, authenticity, and hope. People getting real with their struggles, their faith, and their breakthroughs. So don't miss a thing. Subscribe to my weekly newsletter today. You'll get stories, links to everything new, and how to create a life you love every week directly to your inbox. You can also find my books on Amazon. My courageous and riveting memoir, The Second Piece of French Toast, in case you feel stuck in your life and want to get inspired. How I came out about my no sex life and my marriage, and my second book, Real Talk. That one will get you speaking up in ways you've been too afraid to do so, and really creating amazing freedom. And my third book, How to Stop Fixing Yourself and Start Having Fun, the name is called Your Bullshit is Your Blessing. Find links to everything and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Getting Real with Hilary, and you'll find the links in the header. So, visit. And you can also visit gettingrealwithhilary.com because the real you is worth it and wants to come out. What if spiritual transformation didn't have to feel confusing or out of reach? When I met Dr. Kay Narayan, a spiritual teacher and healer, what struck me most wasn't just his presence. It was how simple he made something that can feel so complex. In his book, Spiritual Transformation, 12 Steps to Freedom, Joy, and Your Highest Life, he breaks it down into a clear, step-by-step process. So you're not just inspired, you actually know what to do. This isn't about rare experiences or abstract ideas. It's practical, it's logical, and it's written in a way that just makes sense. And what I experienced myself was a feeling of lightness, of ease, of finally understanding. If you've been searching for something deeper,
but want it to feel real and accessible, this is for you. You can get a free copy of his book right now. Just cover shipping and handling. The link is below, because the life you're looking for might be simpler than you think. Have you tried diet after diet and workout after workout only to be frustrated by the lack of results? What if you had a coach who created a plan specifically for your body, your goals, and your lifestyle? Meet Kayvon BU of Hammer Fitness. Kayvon helps people lose body fat, build lean muscle, and transform their bodies through personalized fitness coaching, customized nutrition plans, and ongoing adjustments as their bodies change and adapt. The results speak for themselves. Just look at these incredible client transformations. If you're ready to stop guessing and start seeing results, contact Kayvon BU today on Instagram at kayvon.bu or by phone at 437-774-5688. Your transformation starts with one decision. Make it today. And thank you, as always, to our sponsors. We appreciate your generosity and support and for making this show possible. We have the commercials and we also have the logos going underneath Tyler and I. So, reach out to those companies if something calls to you. And again, we appreciate everyone. All right, back to Tyler. So you met this wonderful man who was willing to help you. You started your business. That was 13 years ago, I think?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you allowed to bring your customers with you, or is that, or did you?
Yes and no. So I had to wait. There's a waiting period before I could actually, I couldn't reach out to them. They could reach out to me. So there's a waiting period in which I couldn't reach out to anybody. But if they happen to reach out to me, that was fair game. So some did reach out, which is cool. But for most of them, I had to wait.
How long?
2 years, non-compete.
Yeah. So what did you do during that time? Did you find new people or?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to sit down and just twiddle my thumbs.
Okay. And how did you find them? You find new clients?
Honestly, a lot of referrals, like a lot of referrals.
Wow.
And I mean a lot of referrals. Probably my first 2 years, I had 1,000 plus referrals.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had.
Because you asked for them, or because?
Oh, absolutely, I was asking for them. I was asking for.
Okay.
I started obviously talking with my family and friends about, hey, I'm getting ready to go independent. Love your support. Love for you to go ahead and refer anybody that you might know that can go ahead and utilize some of the services that I'm going to be providing. And people started naming and give me numbers of people, and that's kind of how I got started. And it kind of just grew and expanded from there. And my main thing was just making sure I always provided great service to people. And I always believe in what's called the mission before the commission. In our industry, being in the financial world, there's so many different ways that you can raise your commission but not help the client the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to make sure I'm doing it exactly, always 1,000% of the time, what's absolute best for the client. So when I was with JP Morgan, I can only sell their products and services. That's just basically what we had on our platform. But now that I own my own business and basically was a broker, I had access to hundreds of different companies. So I had absolutely no loyalty to any one of those companies. My loyalty was going to be to the client. So find out what are the best products and services that the client's going to go ahead and need, and then find the company that's going to best fit those needs. So,
and what was the mission?
The mission, it had to be, it's all just based upon their goals. So everyone, when it comes to their finances, have different goals. Just kind of like somebody's health, everyone's health is different. It's the same thing with people's finances.
Okay. So you didn't have one mission. It was just to help the client.
Yeah. My real mission is no family left behind. That's that's really what the mission was. No family left behind, because when you work for a major financial firm, there's limitation to what you can do, usually based upon the balances. And I didn't want to go ahead and have that type of service to people. I want to be able to help people. If you could save a couple $100 a month, let me teach you how to do it. If you go ahead and you have, a couple $1 million, let me show you what to do with it. Let's teach you how to protect it, teach you how to grow. So it didn't necessarily matter for me where they started. My job is to teach people habits. Let me teach you the proper habits of what to do with your money, so that as your money grows, you still have the same system in place and in mind.
So what would you do? I mean, obviously they'd have to come to you because they wanted to change. If somebody um wasn't a saver, didn't know about saving, didn't value saving, and spent all their money plus,
Mhm.
how would you help them? Or would they
Well,
have to want to change?
you're gonna.
You know what
I
I mean?
mean, yeah, you're gonna have to watch this. I can't force anybody to do anything. Like
Yeah,
God can't force people to do anything.
right.
So if
Free
He can't
will.
force anybody,
Yeah,
so neither
right.
can I. So you're gonna have to want to make changes. If you're not gonna want to change anything, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right. Okay.
So they're gonna have to want to have want to change, and a lot of times, because what I would do is I don't believe in selling. I believe in educating, and
Mm,
then once I educate a person, they're just liable to make a better decision. So
okay.
what I've always been good at is just educating people on finances, showing people how things work, what you could do, other types of accounts compared to what you're already doing. So I'm taking people down the road of pain. And what I mean by that is showing them like, hey, this is what you got currently going on. You stay down this road, you stay down this path, this might be happening to you. Okay.
Right.
Or you can go down this path and get a different result. It's totally up to you. Now that they're educated, they're just liable now to make a better decision. So I just always been big on educating people on finances because I've learned that, majority of schools in America, they don't teach financial education. We go to elementary school, graduate from high school, graduate from college, learn nothing about finances. But then as soon as you're done with school, life is about what? Money. Right? And a lot of times I started learning that people don't learn about money until after their first bankruptcy or after their first divorce. And that shouldn't be when you learn about money. It should be way before that. So I'd be hoping that people come to me before any of those type of events happen so we can get them properly educated and get them on the right track.
So what would you tell someone who was starting out, who didn't know anything about saving or, any of that? Because I know people, they either, I mean, I'm a saver. We were brought up saving. So
Mhm.
um I don't know if I should say it, but when I married someone who was not,
Mhm.
he thought debt was free money, and all this kind of stuff. It was painful for me.
Mhm.
Um, and nothing I said, he didn't want to change because he didn't see that there was a problem. You know what I mean? So if you're not looking at it for a problem, you don't see a solution. But what would you tell someone? I think, and I know people who are always hand to mouth. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? They just, or I can't save, or whatever they say. What would you tell someone like that if they were willing to listen and learn, I
for
guess?
sure. When a person says I can't save or they're just not saving, they haven't created the habit, they're just having some type of how do I say this properly? They need a mindset shift towards how they
Mm,
think about their money. So
okay.
many people have, their thoughts around money are based upon how they grew up with it or
Mm,
how they seen their parents have it, how they see their parents utilize and stuff like that. So if their parents weren't savers, they didn't teach them saving. So well, they're gonna end up being, they're gonna not be savers either. So they have to start, for one, paying themselves, which sounds so cliche, but it's absolute truth.
no, I get it. Yeah.
Right. So what I would suggest a person do is if they could do what's called the 7-10-20 rule. All right, live off of 70% of your income, 10% of it, go ahead. And this is gonna, for a lot of people listening, you might not believe in this or not, but if you can, give away 10% and then 20% save and invest. So as you're growing with your money, you already have structure for it. The problem is with most people, they don't have any structure. They
Right.
get money, spend it, get money, spend it, get money, spend it. Oh, let's go do this, go do that. People are buying for things that they can't afford with money that they don't have.
To impress people they don't like.
Oh yeah, to keep up with the Joneses on social media that they don't even know, right? Right, absolutely. So if we give people a structure and they understand the structure, because if so, money is a great slave. It's a horrible master. What
Right.
do I mean by that? Your money should be working for you. You should not be mastered by money. Right. Hence, my podcast is the Money Master Podcast. I want every single person to master money. All right. Money shouldn't be your master. You should be mastering your money. You should be telling your money what to do. You should be employing your money, not, you know, be a slave to money. I have to go to work so to pay. Like, no, it shouldn't be like that. Right. So many people live in a scarcity and fear mentality. And since they constantly are worried and stressed over money, it just continues revolves around that life for them in their life. So we have to break free from that mindset and start understanding. Like, and one thing I've heard so many times through my life is, well, money doesn't grow on trees. And it's so hard to make money. I'm like, well, it don't look like that for some people, right? If money doesn't grow on trees, how the heck do they print it?
Right.
It's getting printed somehow, right? It's in circulation somehow. So we had to start changing our mindsets around money, and then start telling our money what to do, and live below our means. I think if people live below their means instead of overspending, a lot of things would be better for them.
Okay, I have two questions.
Okay.
One is, let's say the 70-10-20 rule.
Mhm.
If someone has debt, does that come out of the 70? I'm assuming, and they still pay themselves. They still save and invest, and they still give away 10.
No, if they have debt, then we need to flip it around. That 70% they still live off of. 10% start saving, 20% towards the debt.
Okay.
Let's knock that debt out.
Okay.
And then once we're out of debt, then we can go back to
Save and invest.
correct. Well, you still should be saving. So I'd start giving some away as well. Myself,
Wait, what was the 10?
So if
20 is to the debt, 10 is to
save.
save. Okay.
Yeah.
So even though
Now-
I'm paying off the debt. Okay, cool.
Correct. Now, myself, I'm a tither, so I believe in giving and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I'd maybe 60% go ahead and live off of, and then 10% I'm going to go ahead and save, 10% give away, and then 20% pay off debt if a person is in that situation that they're in debt.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's still employing your money, just telling it what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're in control. So I've seen there are some people who it's kind of like, you go on a diet and then all you want to do is eat. So it's like, even though maybe they know they should save or whatever, but I've seen these people that money comes in big amounts, and it's almost like a hot potato. They have to
Yeah.
get rid of it as fast as possible, and then they end up broke again. And I'm like, I mean, it's a thing. It's just like a habit, or I don't know if it's what they saw growing up or their mental. I don't know. It just blows my mind.
I know what it is.
Okay. Tell
It's
me.
not. It's an identity issue.
Oh, okay.
They don't believe they deserve it. So if you don't believe you deserve it, you find ways to spend it. If you believe you deserve it, you're gonna find ways. I'm supposed to have this money. I don't need to spend it. So when people get a large sum of money and spend it right away, it's just they're not comfortable having that type of money. So how do we raise our identity? Right. That's just raising our self-esteem. So what we have to do self-development. We have to we're only going to make money to the level of our identity. If I don't feel like I deserve or believe I should have this amount of money, I will find ways to spend it.
So how do you change that?
You have to grow. You definitely have to grow. That's when it comes to reading books, being around proper associations, listening to podcasts like this. You have to feel like you deserve to be in the room with people like that, so that when the money comes in, you feel comfortable having it. It shouldn't be, if I made 30 grand a month, I spend 30 grand. That's foolish. Like, you should be saving money. But there are people who make money that are large earners, but they're horrible savers. They just, right? They know how to make it, but they know how to keep it.
Right.
It's an identity issue. So we have to raise our identity.
And you can help them with that, right?
Absolutely. It's just a mindset thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if they want the help.
Yeah.
If they want the help, for sure. Yeah, I have a coaching program. It's called the 5 F's coaching program, which is centered around faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun, and helping a person get better in all those aspects of their life.
Wow. So that's separate from your business and your podcast.
Well, yeah, it all goes together. You know what I mean? They all kind of feed into each other for the most part, because I'm still talking about not family, but finances as well.
Mhm.
So if I educate them, help coach and stuff like that. Hopefully if they decide like, hey, he's teaching me, helping me so much coaching, that maybe they want to be a client within, the financial firm and stuff like that, which is cool.
Okay, so they don't have to be a client to get the coaching. Did they pay for the coaching?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, pay for the coaching. Yeah. My most valuable asset is time.
What'd you say?
My most valuable asset is time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But if they just want, let's just say they just want some more understanding of finances, I have a free course on finances that I offer people. Yeah, I definitely have a free course that anyone can get access to.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So in our last couple of minutes, this has been awesome. What would you like to leave people with? Like, how would you love to see the world? What's your vision? Or what's a message you want to leave?
Yeah, I love to see people grow in the 5 F's: their faith, their family, their finances, their fitness, and fun. Because I truly believe once you get all 5 of those in order, you're going to have the 6th F, which is freedom,
Mm,
right? Freedom of time, freedom of worry, freedom from stress, freedom of money. So I want people to grow in those areas. That'd be my vision for people. And because in Proverbs 10:22, it says, "The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." That word rich in the Bible is not just talking about money, it's talking about wholeness. Nothing missing, nothing broken. And I'd love for people to have nothing missing, nothing broken in their life, meaning they have wholeness when it comes to their faith life. They have wholeness when it comes to their family. They have wholeness when it comes to their finances. Their wholeness when it comes to their fitness, wholeness when it comes to fun. You know how many adults that do not know how to have fun anymore,
mm-hmm.
right? And it's
Like,
like, what happened in life that you went from being a kid, enjoying yourself, loving life, to now you're an adult and it's all your fun is based upon what you do with your kids only. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my kids, love being around them, love having fun with them. But there's other ways for me to have fun without them being around too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think there's so many adults that are out there that they don't know how to have fun anymore. And we have to reintroduce that to people. Like, hey, you can still do all the things you're doing, taking care of your family, having a faith life, getting your finances in order, getting fit, and still be able to have fun. And I want people to be able to get more joy back in their life.
Hmm. So what was it again? Nothing missing, nothing what?
Broken.
Broken. Okay. And that's how we are. People don't know. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for this valuable message and conversation. It really, uh, you're just such a natural with this, and I think it's very inspiring. And I hope more people will reach out to you. There's a free course, as Tyler said. There's the 5 F's, or you can become a client. You can hire him for speaking, which obviously he knows what he's talking about.
Thank you.
And how would they reach you? And we'll have it in the notes, but
For sure. You can visit my website, moneymasternation.com, spelled exactly how it's said. Through there, you can go ahead, obviously, you have access to the podcast, but you can also go ahead and get access to the course. It's called Money Master University. So you go ahead and have access to that. And then you can get a hold of me on Instagram at moneymaster408 on Instagram.
okay.
And you can get a hold of me on TikTok at moneymaster408.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn too. So just
What's
Tyler.
408, just so they can remember?
Yes, ma'am. 408.
Well, what does that stand for?
Oh, that's the area code from where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you take the boy out the hood, can't take the hood out the boy. It's a little
Okay,
bit.
good. All right, great. All right, thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
we'll have all those links in the notes as well. So
Absolutely.
thanks for being here.
I
Okay.
appreciate you.
Thank you for watching this episode. I started getting real with Hilary when I discovered that I was a people-pleasing, pleasant phony and wanted to be more of my real self. We can grow together if you will like the show, subscribe to my channel, and share this episode with your friends and family so that we can have a world that's more real.